some lippy on?
Can't even see ya.
Okay, cool.
Oh,
That's fine. No,
there you go. There
you
you
don't
go.
need to see
It's
me.
all on you.
You don't need to see me. What I do want you to see though is I'm going to show you the tank. So these are called Spa Pro hot stone tanks. Essentially, they're what they called a slow cooker. The thing is, it's a slow cooker, but the thing is with a slow cooker, you get like, what is it, auto something and high, whatever. With this though, you get a dial that controls the temperature very sensitively, and this is the difference. If you were going to buy your own tanks, I would actually get that one. Don't know if you can see. You can turn that round. If you want to buy yourself one, these are good tanks. The Spa Pros are good, but that's slightly bigger. I think that's a 6-quart tank.
How much are they?
So you can look on Amazon and you can get a 6-quart tank with a full set of stones for around £100. You can some of them are you know, if you go to like Volsini or Ellison's, some of them are a bit more expensive just because of their own branding or where they've sourced the stones from. But I bought a really good tank from Amazon, and I can share the link with you if you wanted to buy your own kit. Some tanks have a digitally heated dial where you set the tank, and the tank, we'll talk about the temperature as we go, but the tank should be around 54, 55 degrees, or sometimes I heat them higher and then bring them down. Today what we're going to do is I'm going to heat the tank so it's really, really hot, because what I want to show you is how to cool down your stones, because inevitably there will be a time when you get to your stones and they're way too hot and you're thinking that will burn. I need to show you what it's like to burn, not to burn, what would burn the skin. So you have to know what would burn the skin, and so that you know that danger and how to manage it. A full set, at college we haven't got enough stones to make a full set, but a full set is around, again, about 54 stones or up to 60 stones, and that gives you enough stones to put underneath the body to lie on and on top of the body, and then we massage with the stones. So you do full stone placement and then you massage with the stones. So here, each tank, I don't know what they have, we can count them, but it's less. They might have about 30 or 40 stones in each set. So this is the tank, and this is the heated part of it. This has a heated element. If you buy one of these, what you need to do, it's called smoking out the tank when you first get it. You just, I'll show you how to do that in a minute, but they come with a bit of a smelly element, and it smells like kippers. It's really unpleasant. So if you do smell the kippery smell, it's just the element, and we have to burn it off for about an hour or so before you do your first client. This is if you get a tank. If you go into a job and you work in a spa, they will have done that already. Also, if you get your own tank and your own set of stones, you do what's called seasoning the stones, and you only have to do that one time. They come packaged in plastic. You take it out the plastic and they look very light grey. I mean, these have all been well worn, but I can't even give you an example, but they come out looking quite powdery and grey. You take some almond oil and you just take the almond oil and you roll them in your hands, and then you go through each one, rolling in your hands, and then they become like this, and then they stay like this. So you only have to season them one time. And then I do a blessing for them. I don't do any weird sort of, nothing weird. I just say, thank you so much for choosing to work with me. I shall look after you. I shall love you. I shall cherish you. And let's make lots of money. Let's help lots of people. Let's do wonderful things together. And thank you so much for choosing to be with me. And this is part of the ritual of the Stone Clan people, of looking after the stones and respecting the stones of the earth as they've chosen to come and work with us. It sounds a bit woo-woo, but it's actually the way it is with the stones. And as you get to know your stones, as I teach you to work with the stones, you will build up a lovely relationship with them, where you talk to the stones. It's like, show me how to work with this person, show me what to do, and you will enjoy that. When you get a set of stones, and as we go through this process, you may think, oh my God, there's so much to learn. But as you go on, you really do get to know the stones. You really, really do get to know them. So trust in that process as well. So this is the heated bit. The most important thing is health and safety because we've got hot water and electricity. So whenever you plug it in, I'm just going to show you how to set up the station here at college. It's slightly differently in your own salons, or if you're in a workspace, we try and get them on a really solid surface. So so that you mustn't put a tank on a flimsy surface. Some of those trolleys are a bit too shaky, so they need to go on these really solid, because they're heavy. You felt how heavy it was, and then when they've got water in it, it's really heavy, so it needs to be solid. You also need to put a towel underneath it so it doesn't slip. Then this part is the unit goes inside, and then you put a flannel or a cloth inside. The reason being is two reasons. First of all, otherwise if you put water, you can hear this, and it's not pleasant when you're having a massage to hear that. Also, because of the black on the black, if you put a white, you can see the stones in there. Okay, so for two reasons: so that you can see the stones, and so that it doesn't make a loud noise. And then you place the stones in, and then you fill it with water, and you fill it up to, I go below this lip. This is a safety lip. This is a safety lip here, but I actually fill, you'll see when we've got the stones, as long as the stones are covered, and we'll show that in another short video, but this is where the water comes up to, and then I plug it in. And you plug it in and you switch it on, and when you switch it on, you turn it all the way to the top of this preheat setting. You turn it all the way up, and I'll repeat that later. Okay, once it's up to temperature, you lower it into the operating, and this is where you can regulate the temperature of it. Okay, so that's that bit. This is a thermometer to keep an eye on the temperature. This you can take the stones out with. If I want to heat the stones up very quickly, the lid can go on. If I've got time, I leave the lid off. Okay, that's that bit. Next, I'm going to show you I want to show you how to select. So for example, you know, if you're just given a bag of stones, it's knowing what your stones are and what they do. So there's different types of stones. You've got very large stones. These are what's called the large stones, and these are predominantly for placement and for lying upon. So you can put these on top of the body. So the largest stone in your kit is called the grandfather stone. So you have grandpa. And then the second largest stone, which should be round and flat, should be grandma. So you have the grandfather and the grandma stones. And then you have three large stones. So we'll go for that one. And grandpa, grandma. Yeah, actually we'll go for four. We'll go for four now. Yeah, we'll go for that. Grandpa plus 2. 1, 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, we'll do that. Okay, and then you need a third eye stone. That's a nice third eye stone. You can use a small one, but then if you use anything smaller than that, it loses its heat, it loses its temperature. So I like this sort of style, and that goes here. So you have one here, you have one at the heart, one at the solar plexus, one at the navel, and one at the root. And then you're going to put together a spinal layout. The spinal layout starts with what's called the butterfly, and the butterfly looks like a butterfly. So I'm looking for stones that are flat and round, or oval actually is better. Let's have a look. Those two, that looks all right. I'm just gathering that's definitely a grandfather. Sort of flat and oval stones. Yeah, those two are nice. And basically what we're doing as well, within these stones, within sets rather, each stone these are naturally tumbled, they're called naturally tumbled basalt, which is what I prefer to work with. You can buy sets of basalt and they're carved and uniform. I don't particularly like those because they're too thick and you can't lie on them so well. So I like these naturally tumbled sets. And what you're looking for are what's called buddies. And the buddies, although that they are separate stones, they have a similar feel in your hands. So although they're different, they have a similar quality and they're called buddies. So these could be a nice buddy pair. these are okay. Let's put these together. And if you find something that's a bit more appropriate as you go along, you can work with those. So the butterfly, let's see that one's better. The butterfly looks like a butterfly. Okay, there's the butterfly. And then we're going to have a couple of large rounder ones. Let's put those down. And then another couple of these are actually more for a butterfly. Let's go for that one's nice. That one. It's actually better than the butterfly. That's nice. It's a bit time consuming the first time round. You get to know these. These are lovely. What you're lying on here, this is, so your bum goes here, or your back goes here, and then you lie down. So this butterfly covers the lumbar area, so it can be quite big and wide, and you'd be surprised. And then here's like also lower, this is lower back, like bottom of the thoracic spine. And then this is the midpoint. These are nice, the midpoint. And then you're going further up into the rhomboid area. And the rhomboid area, we know, is a narrow space between the spine and the scapula. So you're looking for more oblong, like that, more oval stones to go in the thoracic, in the rhomboid space. If it's too wide, it's going to hit the scapula. So something, there, that's perfect. Slightly larger. It doesn't matter if they're very irregular. Yeah, that one's good. Okay, so for us, because the amount of stones we've got, I would say the butterfly +2, 4 +6, that's fine. So if you've got loads and loads of stones, say for example you're working in a spa and they've got loads of stones, you would have them all together and you would make more stones out of it. And so that's the spa, and then the head would go here. You could probably get another 2 in, something like that. You'll have a go at this, by the way. I'm just working my way through it. Example, trying to get some really decent stones to give you a good example as the first example. And then they should have, these don't necessarily have to, actually, yeah, you can put a little bit of a, and then the spine lies in between here. And these go either side of the spine, and then the head would go here, okay? And then you can choose, if you've got enough stones, it's nice to choose some sort of round, chunky ones to go in the hands. And these can go to one side. Some round, chunky ones that fit in the hands, these can go at the side. So your bum goes here, and then you lie down on them. And then these go on top of you and onto the third eye. Okay? And then you need some massage stones. The massage stones are palm size, they're medium palm size. And what's nice is to try and find some buddies. So they're good massage stones. These are good massage stones. So try and find some buddies. I'm going to go through a bit quicker just for the sake of the video. Try and find buddies that work nicely together. Okay, and let's get 2, 4, 6, let's get 8. I'll just double check, I have made a note of what college, the amount of stones, because in a normal set you'd have 12 of these, but at college I think we're down to 8. So something like that. These are nice buddies together. Okay, and then you want to get 2 pointy stones like that. These pointy stones. And these pointy stones are great for these are great for trigger